A story is told of two men, both seriously ill, occupied the same hospital room. One man was allowed to sit up in his bed for an hour each afternoon to help drain the fluid from his lungs. His bed was next to the room only window. The other man had to spend all his time flat on his back. The men talked for hours on end. They spoke of their wives and families, their homes, their jobs, their involvement in the military services, where they had been on vacation. Every afternoon, when the man in the bed by the window could sit up, he would pass by time by describing to his roommate all the things he could see outside the window. The man in the other bed began to live for those 1 hour periods where his world would be broadened and enlivened by the activity and color of the world outside. The window overlooked a park with lovely lake. Ducks, swans played on the water while children sailed their model boats. Young lovers walked arm in arms amid its flowers of every color, and a fine view of the city skyline could be seen in the distance. As the man by the window described all these exquisite detail, the man on the other side of the room would close his eyes and imagine picture scenes. One warm afternoon, the man by the window described a parade passing by. Although the other man couldn't hear the band, he could see it. In his mind, eyes as the gentleman by the window portrayed it with descriptive words. Days and weeks passed. One morning, the day nurse arrived to bring water for their baths only to find lifeless body of the man by the window, who had died peacefully in his sleep. She was saddened and called the hospital attendants to take the body away. As soon as it seemed appropriate, the other man asked if he could be moved next to the window. The nurse was happy to make the switch, and after making sure he was comfortable, she left him alone. Slowly, painfully, he propped himself up the elbow to take his first look at the real world outside. He strained to slowly turn to look out the window beside the bed. It faced a blank wall. The man asked the nurse what could have compelled his deceased roommate to have described such wonderful things outside this window. The nurse responded that the man was blind and could not even see the wall, she said. Perhaps he just wanted to encourage you. Now, how many of us are willing to be the positive energy to other people? How many of us are willing to keep others on the road? How many of us are kind enough to help the other person overcome trauma, overcome fear, look things in a different perspective, look at life in a different angle? How many of us are able to preach life into people's daily life? How many of us are willing to spend a whole hour comforting our friends, telling our friends how beautiful life is, telling our friends how beautiful they are, telling our friends it's gonna be okay and it is okay, telling our friends to keep hope that tomorrow is gonna be better, telling our friends it's not the end of everything because outside there things are gonna be better, telling our friends that this is not the last place for them. They're gonna go out there and they will have a chance in the park. How many of us are willing to walk with our family members, are willing to walk with strangers, are willing to walk with friends through this journey of life? How many of us are positive enough to be contagious? How many of us are willing to be the torch bearers? How many of us are willing to see things that our colleagues don't see? How many of us are willing to be the boiling pot that feeds the rest of us? Think about it.